Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cultures Podcast. You know us by now, with the podcast that discusses players of yesteryear. Well, 15 years. The type of kitchen party chat at 3 a.m. for all lonely men know and love.
Lonely autistic men like you.
From Abdullah Faye to Zoltan Gira.
Come on. A to Z.
We cover the width, breadth, depth and height.
And whatever's on Wikipedia
of footballers from about 99 to 2011.
When everything was objectively better and we weren't just children without responsibility.
Because we didn't have any bills to pay.
People were saying to us, like, explain your podcast. What's it about? Have you got half an hour?
Grab a beer.
Welcome to the Cultures Podcast. James Allen, hello. Theon, Taser,
Hello.
And Michael.
What?
Hello.
The Holy Trinity.
Trinity?
The Holy Trinity of...
Shite talking nonsense.
Yes.
Pillock.
Yeah,
Yes.
Literally, collectively, between us, we've probably won about 20 World Cups with Cyprus on FIFA.
Fotis Satiriou, who can forget him? Made that up. Probably as a player who did once play for Cyprus. There's about 700 for Satirious.
But amongst our ascendants of the Cyprus Hill, we are taking some hints from the...
Membrane of... Right, yeah. Kevin Nolan, let's talk about Kevin Nolan.
Kevin Nolan, that's who we're discussing
Yes.
today. Who I would say...
Do you remember him? Do you remember him?
You remember Kevin
Do you
Nolan?
remember him?
Let me give you a landscape. Let me give you history. Bolton in the noughties. Wanderers, Peter Kay, Paddy McGuinness.
Dave Spikey.
Dave Spikey.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
Neil Fitzmaurice.
You nearly had another holy trilogy
Well,
there.
speaking of from Liverpool who got famous in Bolton, Kevin Nolan.
Hey.
Someone who I think epitomises sort of a very no-nonsense attitude. Someone who was a consistent Barclaysman.
Yes.
Maybe gone under the radar by a few.
I think he goes under the radar because
I think he
Bolton was
definitely
just so
does, yeah.
stacked. Yeah.
He was very good. I think everyone was waiting for big move, weren't they? Especially first couple of years he come up.
I think just a very clear-cut, boom, solid Barclaysman. Like someone, I was saying to Michael on the way here, if you had like an England 11 of players that were like never capped, because he only got capped by under 21 level.
Now there's an argument, right? You've just inspired.
Oh God,
Possibly the most
have I gone
fucking
woke?
no, possibly the most anti-woke midfield of all time. Kevin Nolan, Mark Noble at West Ham.
Yeah, you
There
wouldn't want
go.
those two chasing you down like
No.
a hungry
Two of the
rat.
It's like Dino's calf at 7 a.m.
Bash.
Are they the two best players to never play for England? Or did
Did Mark Noble play
Mark
for England?
Noble-
once?
Did he? Oh, that'd have
I
been a
think
great
Noble-
question. He can't play much, though. A few friendlies either in there. The Kevin Davids-esque.
No, because he had that really good season in like 2013, 14.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get picked over Danny Drink. Oh, no, maybe later than that.
because
Danny Drinkwater.
Scott Parker had Noble's number in Euro 2012. I think he was leading midfield. Scott Parker.
Well, according to Wikipedia, he never made a cap.
Oh, well, there
there
we
you
go.
go. Kevin Nolan.
It's almost as if this podcast is based entirely on what... Can we remember it? Ah, well, didn't happen then.
Kevin, very much had a sort of reverse Mandela effect. Did it happen? No, it didn't.
We find
Well,
out. As we got outed by Matt Letizier's son, apparently.
Oh, God.
After vigorous research.
really makes you
sorry
think.
to anyone offended in the Letizier household.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
But he does watch the pod, which must be
Yeah,
good.
she's good. Yeah,
Come
there you
on,
go.
bring your dad on.
Bring it. Or just come on.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Anthony Yance.
Jans.
Nolan.
Jans.
That's a very odd... That's like... Because that sounds like... That's two middle names, which to me in Irish Catholicism speaks of confirmation name, which means, sure, I don't think in the Pope's approved confirmation names, Jans.
So,
I think it's a surname. I think
Is that maybe a...
Yeah.
not to sound like a idiot, as someone who
So it's like a name you
wasn't
pick.
brought up.
As-
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
a
I
middle
think-
name.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
get one, and then when you get your holy, whatever it's called.
The pick right because it means you are honest, benevolent, brilliant, and often inventive. So for Kevin Nolan, he's such a Jance.
The Jans, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
quite Jancy.
Take a jab.
Quite Jancy.
Fun fact, for any podcast listeners, I was christened by the Salvation Army. So
I was at a Leeds festival for fucking £1. You get saved by a fucking £1 brew.
my mum left me with the Sally Army while she went to rave to the Prodigy. Not too far from the truth. So, Kevin Nolan, born on June 24th, 1982, in the midst of the World Cup, probably.
In the midst of the Falklands War.
I haven't fact-checked whether that was prior to or after
Thatcher.
Brian Robson's 1 minute quickest goal in World Cup history.
June. When was that on the normal scale of World Cup?
England weren't in the 82 World Cup, were they?
Yeah, they were. They didn't make out of Pool 2. Because in that stage, if you was it group, you had to progress to another pool, and I think they had like Soviet Union and West Germany.
No, was it 74, 78 that England?
Yes,
yeah.
But I think Dom Revie takes over then, and then we all know what happened. I don't.
We all remember that.
Go watch an 80s Man podcast and find out.
Is a former professional footballer. That checks out. And current football manager at Northampton. And as of the time of recording, the Cobblers are playing Bolton tonight, and it's currently 1-1.
No.
We'll update you with the score.
For a game that finished a month ago.
Maybe 6 weeks ago, I reckon. Yeah.
People with bated breath. Now, do not tell me the score. I need to wait.
Please comment below if we've ruined the Northampton Bolton game.
To tell me, I need an anemic man in an Auckland FC top to tell me the result.
Oh no, there was my granddad used to do that. He was one of them where it's like, don't tell me the scores. I'm waiting for match of the day, and but would watch the news. So, it would be a sprint to find the remote when they go. If you don't want to know the classified, why did he bother saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Why did they say? Why did they bother saying?
Legality did they have to report on?
No.
Well, why did they even say it? Why didn't they just put them on screen?
No.
I still get annoyed by you can read quicker than the announcer on final score.
Yeah.
So, like Colchester United.
Billericay Town 4. Yeah.
I'm on page. I'm at the bottom of the fucking page. Anyway,
It was always good when they got to the lower reaches of Scotland, though. It was East 5, 7, Clanacudin 14.
the best one of that is Marky Smith. Colchester United 4. Anyway, he's probably best known as being for his time period with Bolton, Newcastle, and West Ham. He begins his playing career at Bolton Wanderers from 1999 till 2009.
That's a good 10 years of that's very much within the Church of Barclays.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
very much within the wheelhouse of that extra points for having your kit sponsor as your manufacturer.
Yeah.
He was
And
one
the
of
stadium sponsor.
Yes, yeah.
he was one of them as well, Nolan. When he went to obviously not as a non-Bolton fan. It was that
Everyone was a Bolton fan.
Well, yeah, but he went from when he left Bolton, it just felt wrong. You know what I mean?
There's some people who.
He felt right. He was.
It's like Mark Noble going to fucking I don't know Bolton.
He was Mr. Bolton from the neutral point of view. Like I say, we always expected. It was like Bolton's Gerrard because the Scouser.
The last
number 4.
Yeah. Sort of one clubman. Because that almost was just Jaskalainen, but he went to West Ham, didn't he?
Yeah.
But that was when Bolton went down, though. So that was a bit more.
Yeah.
Nolan and Jaskalainen reunited at West Ham in 2012.
There you
There you
go.
go.
And isn't that beautiful?
It's absolutely stunning. Yeah.
He was.
It's absolutely stunning.
296 league appearances for Bolton over those 10 years, scoring 40 goals. So.
He was like nowadays they call him an attacking midfield, like as in like he'd play behind the front man, but he was box to box, wasn't he? He wasn't just up top. He was both ends of the pitch. He was an engine.
A proper like. Not saying like no nonsense. I know that sounds a bit.
Yeah, captain's armband at like 21, didn't he?
Like a proper nailed on.
Well, they were they played a couple of seasons in Europe, didn't they, with Big Sam?
Yeah.
Like a Bolton Gattuso.
Have you ever seen the clip of when Bolton played away at Besiktas? And you ever watch it? It's the loudest I've ever seen football fans.
And it was Bolton.
There's the man in the middle of the pitch doing a pointing to all the stands.
Oh yeah.
And then they all go up in unison, sing this song. The camera's shaking, everything's moving. It's like mad. And then out walk Kevin Nolan and Sam Allardyce. I thought it was going to be like Galatasaray.
Just some kid from Break, mate, eating a pie. Fucking hell.
Thursday night on Channel 5 as well.
Oh, Thursday night Channel
They're
5.
a bit loud, aren't they? They're a bit loud.
We've talked about Thursday nights Channel 5 here before, but
Yeah. Bring them back.
Such a Now the Europa League isn't specifically on. Now with the new Champions League format, sort of coming round to it slightly.
If it was a new competition, I think people would take it to it straight away. I think people don't like change.
Get rid of the
Do not get rid of the Europa League theme.
Oh, that's class. It's 2 in the morning when you're in Football Manager and it belts out your computer after no sound's been on it.
The ball, there must be credit to the ball sponsor Bolton, who earned their trade supplying basketballs for European leagues. So
you don't hear this kind of shit anywhere else.
Bolton in Europe, we'll get onto in a minute, but it's time at Bolton, scored crucial goals, notable performances against top tier teams. I think the season they get promoted back into the Premier League, they win 1-0 against United, I think at Old Trafford as well. Kevin Nolan scores.
I think he got 8 goals that season.
Bolton used to beat United every time they played him, and I won't. Again, no fucking research. Don't. You can prove anything you want with facts. I want to live in a. I want to live in a dream.
And
he scored 83 goals that season.
Yeah.
In a time where it was a very, with the exception of City at that time, a very Lancastrian rule of.
It was a northern. Well, it used to be a lot more north heavy.
Bolton, Blackburn,
the gravy boat tipped, and it's all gone down to the south coast now, hasn't it?
It's because players don't want to. Like, obviously, it's like players want to live down south. They don't want to live in fucking Bolton.
Well,
which is
back
fair enough,
in
really.
the day, they used to, and I think this is a good opportunity, not option, to look at some of the players he played with at Bolton. And I've got the first 2 seasons they came into the Premiership, and you can start seeing what Sam Allardyce was building.
What's Chef Allardyce cooking in the
when they
kitchen?
come up, they had Bruno and Gotti.
That'd be great if we could take like a manager like Allardyce and go like modern football tweet lexicon. What is it? What is Allardyce cooking?
What is he cooking?
What's big chef Sam?
Allardyce.
Oh God. Yeah, the players that they had the first season in the Premier League, there's not many that strike out, but you still got Bruno and Gotti. Colin Engie was there, Per Franson, Henrik Pedersen, Ricardo Gardner, Youri Djorkaeff came then. They had Freddie Bobic on loan from Dortmund as well, which is a class sign at 30-odd caps. They had the poor man's Thomas Gravesen in Stig Tofting. Jussi Jääskeläinen obviously in goal. But then you look at the season after. So they've stayed in. Like last time they were in the Premier League, they went down the first season. This time, not a chance. And then they went upwards. Add in Campo, Okcha, Bernard Mendy, Florent Laville.
Can't remember him.
But one name that struck out at the bottom there, Jonathan Walters.
Well, I was going to say that he's on the substitute bench against that win against United, but doesn't come
Jonathan
on.
Walters, yeah.
And the lineup in Europe, I mean, Big Sam gets them into the UEFA Cup twice.
What season was that? The first?
I think 05, 06, and then 06, 07.
06, 07. They had some players
They
then.
play Bayern Munich in a draw. This is the Bayern Munich lineup. Oliver Kahn, Janssen, Lucio.
Lucio was a player.
Van Boyten.
That Marcel Janssen, is it?
Van Boyten, Lel. I don't remember Lel.
Lel.
Ribéry.
Who's a Lel?
Ribéry subbed for Tony Kroos on the 60th minute.
Oh, fuck me.
Ottel, Van Bommel, Schweinsteiger substituted for Hamit Altintop.
Altintop now is a player.
Podolski substituted for Luca Toni. Miroslav Klose. The only sub that wasn't used, the only name I recognise there is Z Roberto.
Just another World Cup.
Podolski scores twice. The Bolton lineup: Ali Al-Habsi,
Phenomenal.
Andrew O'Brien,
Andy O'Brien,
Gardner, Alonso, Yanakopoulos, Nolan, Guthrie, McCann, Bratton, Kevin Davies.
Bratton, was he a Norwegian?
Yes, I think he was. Yeah. Subs not used. Gary Speed, I think that's Trevor Sinclair. And so, but that is and Gardner and Davies score. Kevin Davies scored.
Tony Kroos played fucking.
They've got
played against Ricardo Gardner.
And then they go and play. They beat Atletico Madrid with a goal from El Hadj Diouf.
Wow.
El Hadj Diouf.
This is so Jääskeläinen, Hunt. So this is
That's not very nice.
Hunt.
I thought I liked him very much.
Cahill, Andrew
Gary
O'Brien,
Cahill.
Samuel, Campo, Diouf, Guthrie, Stelios comes on. Nolan Taylor-Davies. Yes, please.
Nolan Taylor-Davies sounds like a League One player now. He plays for Peterborough.
Al-Habsi on the bench. Vaz
Yeah, they're really starting to rack up the Barkersmen by now.
This Atletico Madrid team, Abbiati in goal, Italy's finest. Maxi Rodriguez.
Oof.
What a footballer he was.
Simao. I bloody love Simao.
Yeah, Simao.
I bloody love Simao.
Well, Atletico were my FIFA team of choice around that time when they had Simao and Maxi Rodriguez were quite good.
Fabiano Ella. Subs not used. Falcon. Not Falcao.
It's a Falcon.
And Aguero gets
good in the air.
Always find. Can he?
Can he branch out? Doesn't make much sense.
And Aguero gets sent off in the 73rd minute, and that's Bolton.
He's got an eye for goal.
That's Bolton.
The inception as well of, I think, the sort of starting point of that sort of mid-noughties to late noughties boom, where you were getting mid-table teams back in Europe again.
Well, Borough, 2000.
Wigan got there, didn't they, with the cup win?
Stoke.
Yeah.
Portsmouth played AC Milan, I think.
Fulham got to the final in 09. Forlan hat-trick.
That was a great...
Like Barclaysman is one thing, but Barclaysman in Europe, it's like they can do this on a domestic level, but can we do it on a cold night in the Rhineland?
Europa Leaguesman, UEFA Cupsman.
So yeah, it's a real.
Can they do it on a cold night in the Dnieper River? Stalin sweeping in. Fucked it.
A real stalwart of the Bolton side.
Yeah, but I wish he said like that'd be great to have like Ray Parlour does his histories now.
Yeah.
I'd be just 2000. Oh well.
Oh yeah.
Oh well. And you know how these Germans fare in the Ukraine doesn't usually go that well, does it?
Hitler went back, regrouped.
Parties they must have had after Genghis Khan unified the Mongols.
And let me tell you now, when they pillaged,
they did properly.
They pillaged. No stone left unturned. You know.
Talk about the steppe. Talk about the steppe. You're talking about Genghis, aren't you?
That's all we've got time for, Ari. But join us next week where we'll be discussing an in-depth analysis of the Boer War. Any thoughts, Ray? No, we know what he'd say. A stalwart in our Bolton team, and someone who, like, not to Americanize it, but if you were to retire a shirt, he'd be up there, I think.
The Bolton 4?
Yeah.
The Bolton 4.
4.
Well, was it not Djorkaeff originally, number 4 for Bolton? Like that, and then it became Nolan.
No, I'm not sure.
I think it was.
But you talk about, like, and you mentioned it with Fulham, Ben, but you talk about, like, quintessential
Barclays.
That is, and it Nolan is the epicenter of that, but everyone around him, like
everyone,
we don't even mention the Okcha, like.
No, well, he came in the second season, obviously.
Bloody Borghetti.
Yeah, Jared Borghetti.
Yeah.
But in the first season, the Okcha was there. Him and Djorkaeff were top scorers with 7. Like pittance, really.
I think the best. There's a candidate for probably the latest candidate for most Barclays team would be West Ham in the 2013-ish.
Yeah,
because he had he got Noble, obviously.
Winston Reid.
You've got Winston Reid.
Had to get him in there.
Had to get him in, Kiwi, obviously. But you've got Frederick Picquion.
Yep.
You've got who else?
Carlton
Cole. You've got Jaskalainen, even though he's obviously more Bolton, but still counts. Yeah.
Was that the year Robbie Keane was at West Ham as well?
Don't know. Was he at West Ham?
Yeah.
See this again, was he?
Yeah.
Was
Very
he
briefly.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
The players that they had that season, though, they deserved to be where they got to. Like I said, they were knocked out in a round of 16. Is that right? In the WAFA Cup.
Yeah.
And Elka was obviously there.
Oh.
And he was great, wasn't he? For
that shirt, 06, 07 Anelka with the long sleeve shirt, the winter
gloves,
and the sort of, it was like the Bolton home shirt had one sleeve was like the navy blue. Unbelievable.
Johan Elmander.
Oh, we got the Elmander goal against Norwich.
I don't think he's there at this point. They had another football manager hero of mine, if anybody remembers him on Football Manager, Christian Wilhelmsson. He was phenomenal. But if you look at the striking options for Bolton that season, bearing in mind the team you've just read out there for Bayern Munich, Sam Allardyce,
Tony Kroos
had to pick from Anelka, Heider Helgeson,
hello,
Kevin Davis, Ricardo Vazte, Zoltan Harsanyi, Yeah. And Gregor's Raziak.
Oh, Raziak, what a player.
Kevin
But yeah,
Davies.
last 16 of the UEFA Cup, and now your striking options is...
Raziak was a player.
Kevin Davies.
Had a Beatles haircut.
only scored 3 goals that season.
First ever England cap at 33.
Yeah.
Only in England.
And it like...
He wasn't renowned for his goals, was he? It was madness. He was renowned for elbowing people and
jump,
sticking their head in. Yeah.
White men can jump.
But he tucked his shirt in and he got on with it.
But his time at Bolton came to an end in 2009. Obviously, he had a very good relationship with Sammy Lee, the Liverpool connection.
The little gremlin.
Liverpool connection.
And they formed the players. He had a fallout, didn't he, with Sammy Lee?
Yeah.
And they formed like a players' union, like a players' sort of staff within.
Wow.
And it had him. It had. Who else was it? Oh, Gary Speed was.
Gary Speed was the main guy of it.
Would you think?
Jussi Jääskeläinen was
no,
there.
those three are like Speed, Jääskeläinen, brilliant. What a excellent people. Heads, shoulders that you can rest your heads on. People that you want to lean on in tough times. So go, it's all right, lads, I'll speak to the gaffer, don't worry about it. They then put Elhadj Diouf in there.
Yeah, that's not
the
best,
rogue element.
Yeah.
That sounds like the worst low-budget 2000s fucking action film of all time. Elhadj Diouf
You've literally
in The Rogue Element.
No, guys, we're going to deal with Sam diplomatically, and Elhadj Diouf comes in. Yeah, the man spat at people.
The man spat at
undeniably. And I think
It's a great song, though.
he fell out.
Elhadj Diouf will spit on you. It's undeniably a good tune.
Go and check it out.
Yeah.
And
Go and check on Spotify. Elhadj Diouf will spit on you. There you go.
and he eventually fell out with Sammy Lee and moved to Newcastle from 2009 until 2011.
Is that in the Championship?
Yes, so
moved down.
Newcastle get relegated in 08-09, and then they play in the
Shearer,
Championship.
yes.
09-010.
It's great that
09-10.
Shearer just 8 games in management, didn't win one straight down.
They infamously
Fuck off.
have that. They infamously have that yellow away kit. It looked like the banana away kit.
Yellow and yellow.
Stripe. Yeah. It was like a paler shade of yellow as the alternate colour, which never looks good.
The players who we didn't play with at Newcastle that left when they went down. So imagine these lot leaving the door as you're coming in. Obafemi Martins, Sebastian Basson, Habib Beye, David Edgar, Damien Duff, Michael Owen, Peter Lovencrans, and Matt Viduka.
In Canada. That's the Spanish. David Edgar.
Edgar. So he's replacing a lot of players. I can't see who they've brought in and stuff, but going down to Championship under Alan Shearer, getting rid of all your best players.
Yeah.
Michael Owen goes
and
to Stoke.
a step down from Premier League.
Yeah, well, that was... How old was he at this point?
I mean, 28. Yeah, 82.
He's still good enough.
27,
but yeah.
28. Bloody hell, same age as me. Christ.
Oh, well. There's still time, Jane.
But yeah, joins Newcastle. And at that point, you could... Once he leaves... I think that period of time he's at Bolton is, like you said before, our sort of peak coverage maybe of Barclays. He leaves, and a couple of seasons later, Bolton get relegated. I mean, yeah, they've got Gary Cahill and they had Man, but it was never the...
Never the same Bolton, was it?
It was never the dizzy heights of...
Like the heart had been ripped out of them.
He joins Newcastle for a fee of $4 million, which again, for like 09 to 11, you're starting to see transfer fees. Like that's the year that Kaká and Ronaldo go to Madrid, and he goes. I'm not saying he's in that league.
He
but
was.
He goes to Newcastle for $4 million, where he made 85 league appearances and netted 29 goals.
I just checked then. He did join when they were in the Premier League, so it's half his fault that they went down. But when he went down the step, he had his most prolific season. He didn't have to get a few goals for Newcastle, though.
Yeah,
17 goals that season in the Championship.
which for his a ball-winning midfielder.
Well, at the time, yeah, his wheels were needing more oiling, didn't they, on a regular basis? But they got like 100-odd points that season, Newcastle.
Whilst he was at Newcastle, I asked some Bolton fans who follow the podcast. I was like, have you got any Nolan?
There's some Bolton fans, yeah.
Have you got any Nolan memories? Which coincided with a tribute.
Not the 4 singing sisters who are all dead.
Yeah.
Not them.
I said, have you got any? One fan said that
She was great on Loose Women.
There was 2
Dead now.
celebrations Nolan would do. One of them was he'd do
This
that,
thing.
wouldn't he, Mike? Like he'd do the
Some hand.
which wasn't quite the Ronaldo.
No, that was more Bolton time, and then I think
And then he did. He brought out he called it the double. It's like sort of chicken.
Chicken.
It was a
dance.
chicken.
It was a
bird.
chicken, and
Whatever your poultry of choice.
there's no no origin story about it, but there is a beautiful story about Sunderland fans singing Kevin Nolan, "Your chicken is dead." And
Oh dear,
when he played for West Ham against Sunderland, and Sunderland won. And
your chicken is cooked.
Chicken's fucking dead, like. I think there's something as well about like, I don't know. Like, if he'd have played for Liverpool, would he, or Everton? Do you think? Do you think if like because growing up he supported Liverpool and Celtic, but I think like Aaron Cresswell is from.
I think we often with hindsight we overlook small fish big pond syndrome.
Yeah.
But I reckon he could have done a job. I thought he would have ended up at Liverpool, but especially when he scored 8 goals in 2001-2 in the Premier League at like 21 years old.
He's very sort of
Bolton.
Tim Cahill kind of player.
Yeah.
He was always good for a goal, and like you said, with looking back, but it was on radio back then. I remember being in Cardiff, and it was always Nolan who scored. It seemed to be anyway, and especially when he first come up.
You are looking at the man, though, who suggested when I was younger that Liverpool go out and sign Stephen Dobby. So what do I know? Not absolutely not.
Wow.
But I asked the Bolton fan, and have you got any memories of Kevin Nolan? And he did that celebration. He did the bird.
The chicken.
If you're on the banks of the Putney,
Your
the guinea
chicken is
fowl.
Oh.
He did an aviatory-based dance. But when he scored against Bolton for Newcastle, he said that he went to do it and then like looked at the Bolton fans, arms in the winged position, and went,
Oh no.
Sorry,
which is quite.
guys.
I love that idea
Oh no. Ew.
because it's like he's not done anything bad, but he's treated it like he has. Like it's like he could have gone up to the Bolton fans.
Yeah.
But he's literally just pretended to be a chicken, and he's done that. Do you know what? For the people of Lancashire.
No, it's a bit too far. That.
Whereas
way.
if he scored against Blackburn and pointed at a Venky's symbol,
It's
and went,
dishonouring our but a chicken balti pies. But it was just like. But I think that when he ends up at West Ham,
yeah,
you've got that reunited with Jääskeläinen, Carlton Cole, Mark Noble.
I mean, he gets Newcastle back into the Prem, like he's part of that.
They had a very, very good team down in that league.
He's part of that 4-4 draw against Arsenal.
Yeah.
The Czech
They had Colaccini down in the Championship. He was too good for the Championship. Wasn't he?
But they had their entire team was too good. They had, I think, pretty sure.
But
they
they
got
sold a lot. I mean, I think Ryan Taylor was playing. Fitz Hall joined him on loan.
One size.
Zurab Kizanashvili came in on loan as well.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no real standouts. You don't look at the team and go, wow, he ripped that league up with Routledge, Guthrie, Joey Barton, Mike Williamson.
Was Alan Smith there?
Alan Smith was there, yeah.
A true Geordie.
was-
You'll never win note with a teammate, this useless piece of shit like Mike Williamson in the team. Back when True Geordie made passable videos, not just right wing propaganda.
It looks on paper the worst team to piss the Championship. They're not. They had Tim Krull in goal, like penalty master, but yeah. And Andy Carroll before they moved to Liverpool,
which you'd have moved that year after, yeah.
Yeah, when they got
January, 50 mil. Oof. So in 2011, so he's only at Newcastle for 2 years, and then he the remainder of his career, he joins West Ham from 2011 until 2015.
Reunited with Big Sam.
But yes, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So that's
Big Sam Jääskeläinen, fucking hell.
because Barclays was in such a concentrated period of football. It's lovely when things like that happen again.
Come full
where it's like,
circle.
Get the band back together in fucking Upton Park.
Lovely self-destruct option for West Ham. Nolan joined West Ham in 2011. He made 141 league appearances and scored 30 goals, which is pretty much
return,
1 in 3.
That's pretty good.
No, it's not. It's 1 in 6.
But we talk about his goal return for Bolton been great, and that was 40 in 296, and then he's got 29 in 85 at Newcastle and 30 in 141 at West Ham.
Yeah.
We're getting too statistical.
No,
How he made you feel.
No, what I mean is he aged like a fine wine.
Yes.
Once he wasn't tracking back. Let's say.
He did, like Bolton, boom, out a wicked, Alka-Pops, Reef. Boom. Joins Newcastle. I'm only here for a little while. I'm a guest ale.
Oh, yeah.
You can only pull on my keg for so long.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
I'm waiting for the West Ham bit here.
Once that Bishop's finger's gone, that's it. We're getting a new one on tap. He joins West Ham. Oh, is that a lovely bottle of Sancerre? Is that a Cote du Rhone from 1999? Oh, come around, baby. I've got Nolan chilled. Yeah.
No. Well, insight into something there, anyway.
He captained the team, and again stayed with them when they went down.
Well, he joined them when they went down.
When they went down, sorry. Yes.
So he was Premier League Championship. But he gets 12 goals again that season, so he's banging them in Championship.
Must have been reunited with Vazte as well, because Vazte scores.
And Yossi, as we mentioned before.
Yeah, it just feels wrong that West Ham.
Joey O'Brien will have been there, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It feels like, because West Ham are like, now you've got pretenders like Bournemouth and Brentford and whoever in the league. It feels wrong that West Ham and Fulham even were once.
Well, I think in 10 years.
And Borough were cast adrift
in 20 years' time, where we're even older.
And Wrexham have won 15 consecutive league titles.
And the younger generation do a
sort
of...
They did have a good team going down. Carlton Cole was still there. They signed Nicky Maynard for some reason.
Why? Everybody signed Nicky Maynard at one point.
John Carew, Championship.
John Carew.
Jack Collison. Vazte, Matty Taylor, Abdullah Faye.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Brian Montenegro, Frank Nublet, Ravel Morrison, Henry Lansbury, Guy Demel, Julian Faubert, Joey O'Brien, Winston Reid, George McCartney, Rob Green.
It's Barclays.
George McCartney keeps cropping up.
Yeah, doesn't he?
It's Barclays FC.
Matt Letizia. George McCartney everywhere. Them Northern Irish.
I don't think we should let that be.
Spodbet, sponsored by Spodbet.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Right Backs Band. Something. Shite.
Which I could never pronounce Spodbet. I used to call it S-Spodbet.
Spodbet.
Yeah, just get rid of him.
Yeah.
No one... Right.
No,
have you got a Spodbet account?
No, I haven't.
There you go. And that's coming from
a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
But they're like the ones where it's like that Palace one that was like Man-Bet or something with China.
Oh yeah. Have you got a W88 account?
What they are is they're like one. I think it was Palace's maybe. That it's like they were sponsored by a gambling company that you can't even legally get on in the UK. It's like for like Macau and China and
there you go.
Yeah, it's for the global audience. So like they just advertise by these so it's basically for people watching it in TV in Indonesia.
It'll all be outlawed next season.
There'll be something where it'll be like fucking, I don't know, lilyphillips.com on the fucking.
To be fair though, if he's gotten. For every club he's been at, he's gotten them back into the Premier League.
Yeah, he did well.
Which is
and both clubs all clubs when they got up, they went on and strengthened and went on like that. Sam Allardyce actually built a good team at West Ham, didn't he?
So a lot can be said for his influence.
I'm looking at Modibo Maigo, what a player he was. Like first 6 weeks of the season, you get one of them players every year, don't you? For first 6 with Liam Delap this year, like just bang goals in. In
2016, he took a player manager role at Leyton Orient. Now that's a stadium I'd love to go to as a side.
But Brisbane Road.
Leyton Orient.
It evades me that.
Does anyone remember the CBBC show Am I High?
No.
One of the agents had a
agent
had a sort of teched out yo-yo that had a Leyton Orient badge on the front. So it's like a yo-yo that could like knock someone out from 30 yards away or something like that.
And that was Kevin Nolan in his time at Leyton Orient.
Well, he managed 15 games with a record of 7 wins, 2 draws,
not bad,
6 losses.
He managed 15 games.
Yeah.
He played 40. That's faith in himself.
He joined Notts County from 27 to 2018.
Will he have been at Notts County at the same time as Alan Smith then? Leeds Alan Smith.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and maybe Sol. No, not Sol Campbell.
Because he likes Reunion, doesn't he? Like you said before, there was some players who missed out in the
Notts
Reunion
County
at West Ham.
Sort of like, ooh, Jake Bugg supports us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, who have you got? Jake Bugg supports us.
Who supports Nottingham Forest? Carl Froch. You knocked 80,000 people out at Wembley Arena.
I think I do well. CTE.
I just love Nottingham. He might have never been.
Just love Nottingham. Just love Nottingham. Fucking hell.
He managed Notts County from January 2017 to August 2018 overseeing 84 games with 35 wins, 23 draws, and 26 losses. Again, part of the recent advent of players instantly retiring and then becoming managers.
Yeah, I think
that's always
his was more forced, really, wasn't it? Because he went in as a player and I just want to be manager instead.
I think it's usually in the contracts.
Paul Dickov as well did that, I think, for a club.
Welcome to the Remembering podcast, where we can't remember fuck all.
Paul Dickov was a player manager, maybe at not Leicester. I can't remember. Do write in, and if you're Paul Dickov, do
PO box.
Yeah, speak for yourself. And then currently, Northampton Town, 2024 to present day. In December of 2024, Nolan was appointed as the manager of the Cobblers on a 2.5-year contract, marking his return to management of a 6-year hiatus.
Oh, wow.
He did have he was a first team coach under David Moyes as well at West Ham. So a Europa Conference League medal.
There you go.
Yeah, surely,
yeah. So finally got his
European retribution.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was.
But I know what you're all waiting for. You're thinking, oh, James, you sowed the seed earlier, and now that crop has come to fruition. Well, let's hope so, because we told you that.
Bolton, Northampton. How's it going, James?
Well, I can say that we haven't recorded the podcast long enough for the final whistle to be blown. But what I can tell you is on the 70th minute mark, it is Bolton Wanderers 2, Northampton Town 1.
Oh, he'd be bringing himself on.
No.
The goal scorers being...
We don't need to do the goal scorers.
They're probably retired by the time this comes out.
Liam Shaw has scored and also scored an own goal.
There you go. Well, what a performance. Well... So, that's Kevin Nolan.
That's Kevin Nolan. Someone who I think
Kevin Nolan
must no nonsense. He's ketchup on your chips. Yeah, he's Coldplay at Glastonbury. You know what you're gonna get.
You're not gonna find anyone who truly hated him at that time.
No,
I think he was universally liked. I think he was universally wanted. I think everybody thought he would improve the team, but he never went anywhere. He stayed loyal to Bolton, which is a great trait. And then he was just great for every club. I think every club he was at.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have great memories of him.
He's a live, laugh, love sign on your mum's house. He lived through the Barclaysman era. He laughed with his chicken dance, and we've loved talking about him.
And that's it for Kevin Nolan. Follow, like, subscribe, all of that.
Yeah, follow us at Cultures Pod.
Yeah.
Au revoir.
See you later. Bye bye.